Welcome back to Inside the Rapper Studio. Had a little connection snafu, but you know we'll run through that. Episode 72 of Inside the Rapper Studio. You can just join right back on. You'll never know. Pretty great interviews. I haven't the first song yet, and we're already smoking, so I already know like the rest of this is about to be like smooth sailing. Can you hear me, brethren?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. You got that. You got that. What you got? Vios? No.
No, like trust me, if it was Files, it'd be a lot worse. Take
Ah.
it from a nigga that used to work for him. I know
Oh.
But yeah, I wanted to jump right into the intro of Technical Foul, which is my God. You recently dropped the visual for it. Tell us how it was making for the song.
That was one of the first beats that I ever heard from JR. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those joints when I heard it, I was like, oh, I need that. Like I was pressing him. Like when I first heard that beat is like that beat is pretty old. That beat like 6 months to a year old on his end. And when I heard it, I was like, yo, I kept pressing. I said, yo, I need this beat. Do not let anybody rock on this joint. I need it. And when I was ready, he said, yo, it's yours. Whenever you're ready, you know what I'm saying, to work on this project, let's go. And that's how it came about. And it was so fun writing it. And it was so fun shooting the video. Mind you, I recorded the whole project in Virginia at the Magnetic Research Center with Elijah Marsalis, my boy, my homie, my brother, producer. So that was real fun. The whole creative process, all in all, was ill, man. The only downfall about this project, I wish JR was, you know, in the physical presence so we could vibe out, but it still worked out though.
I really want to talk about like the whole being in the studio with the producer and being outside the studio with the producer. Now that you mention it, how is it in terms of the difference, in terms of like what you create out of it?
I think when you're in the lab with a producer, you know, y'all could feed off of each other's energy. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not that picky when it comes to you know, production, because I don't know that much like the technicalities of production, you know what I'm saying, as far as like sequences and transitions and bass lines and all that. But I have a definitely a good ear, you know, of what sounds good. You feel me? So it's like when you're in the lab with a producer, you're just like, okay, I can feed off your energy, maybe take out them snares and, you know, maybe do a drop here, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody being across the, you know, the states, and then you like you're sending the email out, or like we're doing now, we're talking like, because that's what we was doing too. Like I would be in the lab in Virginia recording, and I would hit him up and be like, yo, how this sound? And that's how we was doing it, like talking on Instagram live, you know, Instagram chat. And you know, we did a lot of this project, a big bulk of this project, we was chopping it up on Instagram chat, just making sure everything was on point. Because before I put anything out, whoever I work with, you know, I want to make sure that it's up to their liking as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just my project, it's their project as well because they produced it.
No, it really warms my heart to hear a rapper say that, because niggas do anything with niggas beats. They will legitimately do like make a whole song, make these whole cuts, make this reverse, like legit, damn near bastardize the production. You know what I mean? Before they do the drops and like really release it and stuff. So it actually warms my heart to hear you like actually have some consideration of the producer.
Word.
You know,
that's all it's about. That's what it's about, man.
That's all it's about. So for the folks that's late to school, as always, the song that was recently playing was My God.
My God.
Off of Technical Foul, the project from our wonderful guest of episode 72 of Inside the Rapper Studio. You'll never know. Once again, thank you very much for joining me tonight and answering these hard-hitting TMZ in your business questions. Of course, everybody got to get the personal questions like, you know what I'm saying, what snare did you use for this one and shit like that. So I'm going to give a few shouts out to everybody in the building. Huge shouts out to Rusty. Huge shouts out
Rusty.
Shouts out to Abyss Theory. Huge shouts out to Taser doing the goddamn thing. Shouts out to Abolish Mom Jail. Aaron's in the building. Huge shouts out to I Don't Even Know, bruh.
NASA 8. Is Vito in here?
Beto, he was in the last one. He was in part one, but hopefully
Okay.
we'll reel him back in for this one.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, brother man, I really want to talk to you about working with DJ John Doe. You had a few songs with him on this project, and I want to kind of get your idea of like working with DJs in conjuncture with making songs.
Mm. Yo, John Doe, shout out to him. Yo, it's coming, yo. It's coming. Your verse is coming, man. I'm a busy dude.
Pressing niggas
But
in my interviews
yeah,
and shit.
like that with my verse. I got you, bro. Like, yo, I got you. I didn't forget you. But yeah, John Doe, man, it's a good dude, a good boy, friend of mine. I met him actually a couple years ago. He reached out to me, and he runs Southern Vanguard Radio down in Atlanta. And yeah, man, I just noticed that he was ill on the cuts, and yeah, it just took the one thing I realized about this music, man, is you're not going to get anything done unless you open your mouth. Pause.
Hold.
You know,
Say that again. Say that again.
you're not going to get anything done unless you open your mouth. Closed mouths do not get fed, yo. That's all it takes. Just open your mouth, yo. The worst thing they can say is no. That's the worst thing they can say. Keep it moving. But yeah, he showed a lot of interest in working with me as far as cuts. You know, we had a radio interview. We spoke off the air, and you know, he really adamant about working with me. And I was like, yo, let's do it, man. And he was like, when I made Technical Foul in my mind, like I wanted to make this like the modern day boom bap project, like the new wave of boom bap. You know, like I consider myself a 90s rapper influencer, like influenced by it. I'm not a 90s rapper, but I'm influenced by the 90s. So, you know, when I made this project, I wanted to get those tools and those ingredients of 90s, you know, incorporated into this record, man. And it came out perfect, yo.
Absolutely. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I've listened to when I was doing my like production notes for your interviews and like getting the notes down and stuff like that. I usually do like my skim throughs and stuff. And like, that was the actual album where I had to actually sit down and listen to in full. Because I usually skim through for like questions or what can I talk about and things like that. But like that was
Right.
the album where I actually sit down like, God damn, this shit is actually motherfucking good. God damn.
I
So,
appreciate that, man.
one of those things where as though I really had to like take note of not just the album but the process of the album being made. And
Thank you.
clearly there's a theme with all the projects with as you'll never know being basketball, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
could you tell us how it is making projects that has like the consistent concepts?
Um, I can say like the honest truth. West Side Gun was the founding, you know, influencer on a lot of these projects, yo. You know, with the him incorporating wrestling into his, you know, with boom bap. You feel me? And yeah, with the basketball ish, man, it actually like came off by accident. I did a project called Confidence is Everything Too, and it had Buck Webb on the cover. And my team and Magnetic, we all like hashed it out. We spoke about the whole project. Like, yo, you know, I think you're on to something. I think you know you need to start incorporating, not like mentioning, like don't have an album about basketball. Period. Like you still can get busy as an artist, but still show that respect and pay homage to '90s basketball. Which me personally, I think '90s basketball is like the best basketball ever. Period. You know, and like
Proud of
that's how
you.
it was exciting. It was fun. So I'm glad. You know I'm 34. Or I'll be 34 next month. But you know I'm glad that I was able to grow up in the 90s and be able to you know watch Jordan and Allen Iverson and early Kobe Bryant playing and growing up. So you know for those I appreciate that and me incorporating that with my hip hop, man, I just wanted to show, pay respect and pay homage and make the projects interesting too, man. Like, cause I want to take listeners on the journey, you know what I'm saying? Not just, you know, like rap. I just want to, you know, come into my world and what I enjoy, you feel me? Which is, you know, 90s basketball.
Man. It's just something about like when I catch an interview, you know, not to break fourth wall or anything like that, but when I actually listen to like artists, like fellow artists and fellow rappers that actually don't put like 10 singles on a project and actually want some narration, some audio visual things going on and things like that. And it's something that's not really done anymore within music. No, like I feel like the art of the album is slowly dying. Would you agree?
Yeah, yes and no, yes and no. I feel like it's slowly coming back. Like I feel like there's a few cats like Fly Anakin, Concept Jackson,
Oh,
Al Davino, West Side Gun, like Rome Streets, like all these cats is that's coming up. That's on. I feel like I'm in the same category in the same class as the new boom bap wave. They're actually showing their appreciation for putting interludes and putting funny skits over dope beats on their albums, yo. So I think slowly for surely it's coming back because I miss some days where you listen to an album and like 17 tracks, and out of those 17 tracks, you'll have like three or four interludes or skits that's very entertaining, man. So I we need to get it back. But that's what brings our album together. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's a story. It's an audio visual. It's an audio story. That's how I look at it.
got you. Sorry for the little breakup for the folks
Nah, you
watching.
good. You good.
It might be Files. I don't know. It might be Files.
Hey, man.
So I wanted to jump into the next song on the project, which is Flare Cards, featuring John Doe, DJ John Doe himself. So
Yeah.
tell us how it was making a song like this.
Um, I got inspired making this record. A friend of mine, I don't know if he's familiar, he does a lot. He's dope with the threads in Baltimore. He does a lot of stitching, a lot of customized clothes. He does a lot of customized jerseys. Like he'll take old like jerseys from the 90s and he'll refurbish them and he'll put his own spin on them or whatever. My name is Arve Adams. Like you can go follow him on IG.
I think I have.
Arve Adams. So one day, he gave me, I forget. No, I bought a jersey from him. I bought a Charles Barkley customized jersey with I wore it actually in the My God video. It had this big like Godzilla, Charles Barkley versus Godzilla on the patch, like on the back of the jersey. And when I bought that from him, he gave me a pack of Fleer cards, and it was a good pack. Like I had some. Yo, I'm never selling that pack. I got some heat in that pack, and just seeing that, it took me back to my childhood. It was just a whole nostalgic, and I wanted to pay homage to just my childhood of opening that pack of Fleer cards, and you may find a Larry Bird, you may find a Sean Kemp rare card that you may not see again. So that was real valuable to me. And then when I heard the beat, it wasn't even my idea to have John Doe on the cuts. Logic Marsalis heard it. It was like, yo, you need to have John Doe on these cuts, man, because this is very DJ Premier-ish. It has a very DJ Premier aesthetic, yo. So we just ran with it, man.
Gotcha. What would be your prized possession card from back in the day from Flair?
Man, shout out to Mom Dukes, man. She got all of my basketball cards, yo. I had a lot, man. I remember one of my collections, I had like 4 pages of like rare Michael Jordan cards, yo. But the one card I remember that sticks out, that comes to mind, dang, what's the dude's name? I remember he was a rookie and he played for the Vancouver Grizzlies. I think his name was Sharif.
Abdul
Sharif
Rahim?
something. What's his name?
Was it Sharif Abdul Rahim or Abdul Akeem?
Yes, yes. And I remember it was a Z Force. It was a card called Z Force. And I just remember how the card looked, yo. And I remember like getting that card when I was younger, yo, and like keeping that near. Like I remember like bringing that to school, and everybody wanted to trade. Like they was giving me anything for that because as well he was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a Z Force. Like that those cards was unheard of. Those was really rare back in the day, man. So that's the card that sticks out to me. Another brand of basketball cards, like in '96, like that whole class, that '96 class, the rookie class, was just dope. With Stephon Marbury, Marcus Camby, Kobe, Allen Iverson, Kerry Kittles. Like that class was so ill, man. Like, oh goodness.
I would love to turn this to a Bill Simmons podcast, but because I'm, but I won't. Trust me, I can go for days on 90s and 2000s basketball. But
Yeah, absolutely.
nonetheless, the song that was just recently playing for the guys that's late to school, as always, is Flea Cards by
Lyrical.
wonderful, wonderful guest of episode 72 of Inside the Rapper Studio. You'll never know. Once again, thank you very much for joining me on this episode. Huge shouts out to Turfland. Shouts out to Johnny motherfucking Hopkins. Who else we got in here? Peace Russie. Hey, the usuals. The usuals. So,
Hey, you know what? After this joint drop, people they gonna see it. They gonna know. They gonna know.
they'll know. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about in this interview is magnetic. You guys do a lot, and I do mean a lot of work when it comes to music and when it comes to just overall content curation and just like hip hop, all things hip hop in general. Even when it comes to event curation as well, because I remember you guys had an event at Wind Up Space, correct?
Yes. We had a few there, yo. Word.
Because I remember, like, I think Ben, huge shouts out to Benjamin Banger. You know, you got to shout out your roommate.
Oh, shout out to Ben. Yo, word.
Ben, he was at an event there, and I remember the flyer was like grayish and it had like yellow font and stuff like that. Were you at that event?
Yeah. I'm at all the events, all the magnetic joints, yo. Benjamin Banger, he was part of the beat showcase that we did. Yeah.
Gotcha. So tell us how it is working within a group or pretty much a faction that handles all facets of hip hop, not just rapping, not just content curation, not just producing, but events as well. Like it's almost like a well-oiled machine. So tell us how it is working with these guys.
It's fun. It definitely keeps you on your toes, and it's stressful. like it's definitely stressful. I can remember us curating those events, and how it happened was we got tired of like going to these promoters and the promoters like telling us no, or we're not getting any responses from emails sending out just to rock on shows. So we was like, oh, we're gonna do this mess ourselves, and we're gonna give people opportunities to get busy. You feel me? Like that was our whole plan. Not only to put magnetic on the map as far as like myself, Elijah Marsalis, and the people that we're affiliated with, but we also wanted to give people a platform and our opportunity, because we felt like the type of music that we make or the type of category of music we make, like the boom bap, it wasn't enough of that in Baltimore, yo. So we wanted to like really shed light and give cats an opportunity. Like, yo, we can do shows that is just strictly about boom bap and the low five head. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we wanted to focus on, yo. So I remember the first two events was like a big success. The one event kind of like made me like low key upset, but it wasn't our fault. It was the weather's fault. We did an event. It was during Artscape weekend. We was so amped up. We was pumped. We was like, yo, this is about to be crazy. Then Mother Nature took over. No, I mean it was still dope. A few heads came out. Champion Sound. Rusty know Champion Sound. Yeah, you know. And yeah, man, like the weather took over, man, and I'm hoping after COVID, man, we want to do some more. Yo, we was in the process of we want to do like a festival, what I'm saying, get food trucks involved, what I'm saying, take over at the Why Not lot and just make it one big, boom bap festival.
Gotcha. That sounds like a beautiful idea, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that really stick out when it comes to event curation is pretty much the crowd. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times, like when it comes to event curation, some people would just have not have any type of people in there, but just like not really have some direction of where this is going towards. Whereas though you guys are very, very unapologetic about aiming this towards the boom bap crowd. So I really, for one, I really do commend that, because I feel as though if it's one thing that's missing in hip hop is the origins of where all this started, which is that sound. and it's one of the things that's truly underappreciated. So, do you guys get a lot of appreciation for that aim towards that sound and the pretty much the discretion towards the sound?
Yes, we absolutely do, man. A lot of people are telling us. I mean, both good and bad critics. You know what I'm saying? We got the critics that say, "Oh, that's not going to work. People don't listen to that anymore. Like, nobody's listening to that old shit anymore." We're like, "Oh, well, oh, not really, because people are really are tuning in and tapping in, man." And but I feel like honestly, yo, there's a room for everybody. There's a room for the trap ish. There's a room for boom bap. Like all of us can eat, man.
Absolutely. Say that again. Say that.
Yo, in this music, yo, there's room for everybody to eat, man. It's just whatever your preference is, yo. Like some people like steak, you know what I'm saying? Some people like, the hot dogs from 7-Eleven. You feel me? Like it's just a preference. So whatever your preference is, there's room for everybody to eat in this, especially today, especially now, especially with the independent. You ain't gotta, cut out the middleman. You ain't gotta worry about the big corporate. Like, now you could do it yourself, man. As long as you were consistent, you be good, man. Straight up.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate people from different sounds and different like pockets of hip hop. Pretty much
Mm.
saying that there's legitimately all pockets of hip hop instead of just being one single pant. Because there's this weird misconception that goes around that nobody talks about, but it's very obvious of an elephant in the room. Whereas though it's only one type of sound that gets to eat, and that is not the case. We have
Nope.
we have several success stories from different sounds. You have your like Brockhamptons, you have your West Side Guns, you have your Tyler the Creators, you
Hmm.
have us, you have your Thugs, you have your Uzis, you have your Cardis, and you have your Styles P. Everybody eats at the same goddamn time. Now,
Yep.
my question is, where does that confusion lie?
Wow. Now, all right. Be more specific. Like confusion lie as far as like.
Whereas though the confusion lies, whereas though people don't think that. Like, where do you think they get the idea? Whereas though not everybody eats. Because in my opinion, I think it's one of those things. Whereas though you only pay attention to what's being promoted. But
Mm, wow, that's a good question. I think that the where the confusion comes into play is when you have those people that are concerned about numbers.
mm, mm,
Yeah, I think that's where the confusion comes in because hey, I've been a victim of it. I've had people come to me and be like, "Oh, yo, you make this type of music. How you supposed to be eating? And how you supposed to be making money off of this? And you only got a certain amount of X amount of followers on your IG. You know what I mean? But like I don't care about that. Like because there's people out there, like regardless of how many followers you have, like there's people out there that's still searching for it, man. Like they're still searching for that raw boom bap. But I think, everybody is so consumed in the numbers game. And I've been a victim of it too. Like, hey man, I think I need to get my followers up. But I feel like you as much promoting that you can do, you can only do but so much. You know what I'm saying? As far as like to reel in the people, yo. So I just try to make the best possible music, and if people fuck with it, they fuck with it. If not, okay, I'm on to the next. Yo. Like I'm a creative, yo. I don't like to like just stay with it. I'm on to the next, yo. That's just me. Period, yo.
absolutely. I really appreciate answers that one come from the heart, two make so much fucking sense for everyone, not just one pocket of people, but the entire fucking table. So huge shouts out to you. You'll never know. Next
Appreciate it.
thing I wanted to talk to you about before I hit to this last song is your golden ear for beats. Um, I don't know if you remember the first time I've actually like communicated with you at a show. It was at Wind Up Space. I believe it was, and I think it was a beat that Jumble did. Who shouts out to Jumble, by the way? And it was the song "I Like That."
No, all right. It wasn't Jumble. But shout out to Jumble. It
Which I
wasn't Jumble. But it was my man's it was my man. I've known him since the fifth grade. My man Wayne his name is W14. And he's with a group called F14. Dope producer. If you ever heard of Soul Selection Radio, he's got his remixes played on there countless of times. And we did a record called Adventure Rhyme a few years back. And that was one of the first beats he sent me, man. And yeah, like I don't know, man. I think that's important to me when it comes to, rhyming. Like I know what I like to get busy to. And yeah, I just feel like that's like that it's just something about that boom bap sound, yo, that gets to me. If the sample is ill, like that's what starts it off. If the sample is ill, it just takes my soul away, man. Like I just start thinking, I'm start off the Richter, start just thinking of mad different rhyme schemes and all that. Yeah. But I remember you coming up to me. I remember you was like, "Yo, who did that?" And I remember you was like real excited, and that's what I do it for, yo. I like cats after I do a show and cats come up to me and be like, yo, them lyrics was ill, but yo, who was on that beat?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it's one of those things that really stick out for an artist, you know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those categories that's really not discussed a lot when it comes to hip hop, which is the ear for beats. Like, I feel as though a lot of people don't mention, like, you know what I'm saying, the currencies when it comes to the ears of the beat. So the Rick Rosses when it comes to the ear of the beat. And like even West Side for that matter when it comes to the ear of the beat. Like a lot of people's production really matters when it comes to the rapper deciding them.
All right, Swayze, not to cut you off, but can I say something?
Absolutely.
All right, now there's been that people say that like producers that make like ill beats, whatever, sometimes they be saving artists. How you feel about that?
When it comes to producing,
Like producing an album. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll work with an artist that's like trash, but their production saves them. Because I've had countless conversations with a couple of my producer friends, and they're like, "Yo, man, I feel like a lot of production be saving niggas."
I
How
hate.
you feel about that?
I'm not gonna lie. Like this is the second week where somebody's put the questions on me, and I kind of like. Me personally, I feel as though like hip hop is a team sport, man. Like even if somebody's like, you know what I mean, like a bad rapper or a bad producer, you can always have somebody that, you know what I'm saying, come up, not necessarily pick the slack up, but take one for the team. You know what I mean? Maybe your flows ain't that good on this song, or maybe your bars really ain't come as hard as they usually do on a song. But the producer comes up and like pretty much not necessarily saves the day, but makes credit for what's there already. You know what I mean? Some beats, as I can speak for myself as a producer as well, some of my beats really don't knock that well. But when a rapper comes in and pretty much like destroys that beat that isn't that well, the rapper gets the shine. So no matter what happens, somebody's gonna get that shine, and that's what I want.
That's the dopest answer I've heard. Like for real. Like because I've always had like arguments with my producer friends or just friends in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, so your answer, you nailed it, bro. That's
I
crazy.
of the applause.
That's what's up. Woods, little Tiger Woods.
So the last song I wanted to cover on this interview is your latest video, actually, which is Rap Like. Tell us how it was making a track like this.
Yeah, that joint's crazy, yo. I love that song, man. Yo, I was when I made this record, I was upset. I was really mad
Hmm.
because I felt like a lot of like MCs that I was seeing that was coming up locally and on a wide scale was trash, man. I'm like, oh, I could rap way better than these cats, man. Like, ain't nobody, and I've been like in situations where cats try to play me. Like, I'm like, word, like that's how you feel, okay. So my process of making this record was like, yo, I'm nice. If anybody has something to say, like, what up? Like, nobody can rap like me, man. And I had him. I had the cuts in mind. Rest in peace to Prodigy. I reached out to John Doe. Like, as soon as I made the record, I was like, yo, I knew that I wanted to use the Prodigy sample on the cuts, man, and John Doe made it happen. But yeah, that song was basically me like airing out my frustrations that nobody can rap like me. Like I'm nicer than a lot. That's how I feel, and you have to have confidence. And I know I'm nicer than a lot of MCs, man. That's just how I feel.
Plain and fucking simple, man. Like I feel like the spirit of competition comes out in songs like these. So could you tell us how the spirit of competition lies within hip hop in the year 2020?
It's a lot of competition. It's a lot of heads that are dope. Like I'll hear some edge from people, and even amongst my peers, I'll hear some stuff, and I'm like, okay, I need to go back and to the lab. I need to go back and sharpen up my sword, man. And that's what it's about. And it's not necessarily per se because me saying that I'm nice, yo, the next person is going to say the same thing. And that's what it's about, yo. And I feel like it's like sword on sword. We just keeping each other, motivated and creative, yo. Like that's how I feel it's about. So it's not necessarily saying like I want to battle you, whatever. But I'm just saying in my heart, I feel like my pen, nobody's touching my pen for that moment, because that's what hip hop is about too. It's all about moments as well, yo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like we were built on moments, you know what I mean? Like the
Exactly.
first day of hip hop was a moment. It was a back to school.
Exactly.
It was a back to school jam, you know what I mean? Like no one
Mm-hmm.
thought a genre would come out of a moment like that. But hip hop is all about the moments. So
Mm-hmm.
what would you consider your favorite moment in hip hop?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I be throwing them fastballs. I ain't gonna lie, dog.
And no, you good, you good. But like, oh, they caught me all. You know what? The dopest moment in hip hop, to me was I got a few, yo. When Raucous Records was out, that was like an ill moment in hip hop, yo, because it was like, okay, finally we're getting an opportunity. Like that boom bap is getting an opportunity to reach the mainstreams. You know what I'm saying? That also the Jay-Z and Nas beef. That that was an ill that was an ill moment in hip hop, and also the Cannabis and L Cool J beef. Like those were moments. Like those were pivotal moments in hip hop that's like really like set in stone that, you know, 30, 40 years from now, if people, the younger generation that's coming up, if they want to do their history, and, they can look back and see that what Jay-Z and Nas did with Takeover and Ether. They could see what, Cannabis did with 2000 second round knockout and still dissing LL in 2000 BC. You know what I mean? Like those are moments, and as the years go by, it's always going to be moments like added to the timeline of hip hop, yo.
Absolutely. And if it's one thing that I really appreciate is genuine moments in hip hop. And I feel like I got to answer my own question. I feel like my favorite moment in hip hop was the moment where I think it was the first awards where international players won that award and they gave it right back to like whoever was supposed to win. And like I felt as though not only was that class in hip hop being exampled, but it was also a matter of camaraderie in hip hop that was exampled there. And I feel as camaraderie, that camaraderie feeling should be exemplified in 2020. So
Yes, absolutely.
to close that out, I feel as though what we're doing here at Inside the Rapper Studio is a moment of camaraderie. I feel as though, not to hot dog or anything like that, because that's not what it's all about. I feel as though what we can do here within these interviews and within these moments and within these times is to unite, is to unify, and is to kind of like unionize to a point where
Yeah,
we're not necessarily just tools of entertainment. We're actually human beings. We're hardworking men and women. You know what I mean? We're hardworking people that like pretty much put our blood, sweat, and tears into art that's consumed by the people. You know?
absolutely.
So, with that being said and being all serious and shit, now we have to lighten up. Huge shouts out to UllNevaNo. Thank you so much for a great interview. I really do appreciate it, man. Do you have last words? Do you have any last promotions? Do you have any last propaganda for the people?
Yo, next project is dropping. CIE4, Confidence is Everything 4, with my man Alien as well. I still got Dusty tape, got Jam Guard tapes, still got Technical Foul tapes, I got vinyl. Like, I have everything, man. Just go and hit that up. Go to my link in my bio, holla at me, DM me, go to magneticmoments.bandcamp.com for everything, man. And I'm always down to work, man. So and big shout outs to you, y'all. I love what you're doing with the interviews and giving artists a platform to express themselves, to tell a story, man, because and with these times, we need this right now, man. So big shout outs to you, Swayze, for real. And I need a custom robe. Can I get that? I need a robe, B. I know you be doing contests or something.
All right, now that we're here, okay, roll time. So basically all week, well, for like a past few weeks now, I've been doing giveaways. I've been giving away hats, robes, and
Okay.
stickers all in one. You have to collect 5 passwords for each day of the week. Yesterday I
Okay.
gave up the password. I'm not going to say it. Just go back and go watch the video. That's the point. Today's password is Chuck. 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 Take note of that. Collect all 5 at the end of the week. Send me all 5 passwords. You get your hat, sticker, robe, all one. Easy. It's easy
That's
robe,
dope.
easy hat. It's easy sticker. It's easy free stuff.
That's dope.
Just follow directions.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I really appreciate everybody coming through. I really appreciate everybody stopping in, whether it's 1 second, 1 minute, or the entire show. I really
Facts,
appreciate IG for not fucking up too much, but you still did. So let's peep that out.
So,
Coming up next on Inside the Rapper Studio tomorrow, we have Mariah Fortune on. That's going to be really exciting, really interesting. We're going to be talking about her band Woven In, talking about the work that she does within Cat Body Space and the Black Creators Redistribution Fund. It's going to be really informational. It's going to seem like one of those like NPT Charlie Rose interviews, so I'm really excited to get
that's what's up.
So, from your host, Score F. Swayze, and our wonderful guest of episode 72, You'll Never Know. Once again, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you guys so much. And as always, wash your hands, wear a mask, and stay in the house.
Facts.
All right, appreciate it. You'll never know.
Peace.